Welcome to the American Religious Exploration Channel. Today, we will dive into a classic, a massive and invaluable book to better understand the diverse and tumultuous religious landscape of the United States, A Religious History of America. This book is not just a dry chronicle of religious events, but also a profound analysis, a fascinating story of how religion has shaped America, from the early days of settlement to modern society today. To help you easily follow and grasp the entire rich content of the book, this video will be divided into sections corresponding to the structure of A Religious History of America. Introduction to the book, A Religious History of America. A Religious History of America is a great research work written by two leading American religious historians, Sidney E. Ahlstrom and Jonathan Butler. The first edition of the book was published in 1972 and quickly became a classic, an indispensable reference for anyone interested in learning about the history of religion in the United States. The book has undergone many reprints and updates, reflecting the latest developments in the field of religious studies and the changes in American society itself. A Religious History of America, scientifically and logically structured, divided into 6 large parts, covering historical periods and major themes in the history of religion in the United States. Each part is divided into chapters, delving into specific aspects. In total, the book has 29 chapters, an impressive number that shows the volume and detail of this work. Part 1, Colonial Foundations. This section consists of 5 chapters, focusing on the formation and development of religion in the North American colonies, from the 17th to the mid-18th centuries. We will explore Chapter 1, Colonial Worldviews, European Contexts and Migration Dynamics. This chapter begins by setting the European religious context in the 17th century, when groups of immigrants arrived in North America. We will learn about religious conflicts in Europe, especially the Protestant Reformation, and how these conflicts motivated people to seek religious freedom in the New World. This chapter also introduces other economic, political, and social forces that motivated migration, creating a comprehensive picture of the context in which the colonies were founded. Chapter 2, The Colonies of Virginia and Maryland, Anglican and Catholic Churches in the New World. This chapter focuses on the first 2 English colonies in North America, Virginia and Maryland, and the development of the Anglican and Catholic churches there. We will see how the Anglican Church became the official religion in Virginia, while Maryland was established as a haven for Catholics. This chapter also explores the early religious challenges and conflicts in these 2 colonies. Chapter 3, Plymouth and Massachusetts Bay Colonies, Puritans and the Biblical Experiment. This chapter moves on to the New England colonies and Puritan rule. We will learn about the Puritans, their beliefs and values, and how they established a biblical experiment in Plymouth and Massachusetts Bay. This chapter will delve into aspects such as Calvinist doctrine, the importance of the Bible, and the relationship between religion and government in Puritan society. Chapter 4, Other New England and Middle Colonies, Religious Diversity and Limited Tolerance. This chapter expands its scope to other New England and Middle Colonies, such as Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and New York. We will see the emergence of different religious groups, such as Baptists, Quakers, and Presbyterians, and how this religious diversity gradually challenged Puritan dominance. This chapter will also discuss the varying degrees of religious tolerance in these colonies. Chapter 5, Religion in the Southern Colonies, the Anglican Church, Revivalism, and Slavery. The final chapter of this section focuses on the Southern colonies, where the Anglican Church remained important, but also saw the rise of religious revivals and the persistence of slavery. We will explore regional differences in religion and how religion interacted with social issues such as slavery and class stratification. Part the second, The Great Awakening and Revolution. This four-chapter section focuses on the period from the mid-18th to the early 19th centuries, which marked the rise of the Great Awakening and the American Revolution, events that profoundly influenced American religion. Chapter 6. The Great Awakening, Evangelical Revivalism, and Sectarian Fragmentation. This chapter delves into the Great Awakening, a powerful religious revival movement that swept the colonies in the 1730s and 1740s. We will learn about prominent evangelical preachers such as Jonathan Edwards and George Whitefield, their passionate evangelical message, and how the movement undermined the dominance of traditional denominations and led to denominational fragmentation. Chapter 7. The Aftermath of the Great Awakening, New Sects and Social Change. This chapter continues to explore the lasting effects of the Great Awakening. We will see the formation of new denominations such as Baptists and Methodists, the rise of evangelicalism, and how religion began to play a more important role in social reform movements, such as the abolitionist movement. Chapter 8. Revolution and Religion. Religious Liberty and the Separation of Church and State. This chapter focuses on the relationship between the American Revolution and religion. We will see how the ideals of the Revolution, such as liberty and equality, influence the concept of religious liberty. This chapter will analyze the development of the principle of separation of church and state, one of the most important legacies of the American Revolution. Chapter 9. Religion in the New Republic. The Crisis of Sectarianism and Liberalism. The final chapter of this section explores the religious situation in the United States after the Revolution. We will see the decline of traditional sects, the rise of religious liberalism, and the challenges religion faces in a new republic that values reason and individual freedom. Part the Third. Expansion and Division. This section consists of 6 chapters, covering the 19th century, a period of territorial expansion and profound religious and social division in the United States. Chapter 10. The Second Reformation, Frontier Revivalism, and the Rise of Evangelicalism. This chapter focuses on the Second Reformation, another powerful wave of religious revival that spread across the United States in the early 19th century. We will explore the characteristics of this movement, such as its emphasis on personal experience, the popularity of revival camps, and the important role of evangelicalism in shaping American culture. Chapter 11. Denominations and Reformation, Evangelical Socialism and Social Issues. This chapter explores the relationship between religion and social reform movements in the 19th century. We will see how various denominations, especially evangelicals, were involved in charitable and social reform activities, such as the abolitionist movement, the temperance movement, and the prison reform movement. This chapter will discuss the concept of evangelical socialism and the role of religion in addressing social problems. Chapter 12. The Catholic Church and Immigrants, Native Responses and Sectarian Development. This chapter focuses on the growth of the Catholic Church in the United States during the 19th century, especially due to the large wave of immigration from Europe. We will see how the increase in Catholic numbers caused a backlash from native Protestants, leading to anti-Catholic movements. This chapter will also discuss the process of building and developing Catholic denominations in America. Chapter 13. Slavery and the Sectarian Divide, Religion and the Civil War. This chapter delves into the role of religion in the American Civil War. We will see how the issue of slavery divided major denominations, such as Baptists and Methodists, into northern and southern denominations. This chapter will analyze the religious arguments used to support and oppose slavery, and how religion contributed to the outbreak and course of the Civil War. Chapter 14. Religion and the West, the Frontier, expansionism, and new religions. This chapter turns to the American West and the development of religion on the frontier. We will see how traditional denominations expanded westward, as well as the emergence of new religions, such as Mormons and Seventh-day Adventists. This chapter will also discuss the relationship between religion, expansionism, and the conquest of the West. Chapter 15. Religion and Minorities, African Americans, Native Americans, and Asian Immigrants. The final chapter of this section focuses on the religious experiences of minorities in the United States during the 19th century. We will explore the formation of Black Baptist and Methodist churches, missionary efforts to Native Americans, and the emergence of Asian religions such as Buddhism and Confucianism in America. This chapter will emphasize the diversity and complexity of the American religious landscape. Part the fourth, Modernization and Challenge. This section consists of 5 chapters, covering the period from the late 19th century to the mid-20th century, which saw rapid modernization and major challenges to religion in the United States. Chapter 16. The Gilded Age and the Social Gospel, Industrialization, Urbanization, and Religious Response. This chapter opens part the fourth by exploring the impact of rapid industrialization and urbanization in the late 19th century on religion. We will see the emergence of the social gospel, a movement that attempted to apply gospel principles to address social problems caused by industrialization, such as poverty, inequality, and poor working conditions. Chapter 17. Modernism and Fundamentalism, the Debate over Science, the Bible, and Faith. This chapter focuses on the debate between modernism and fundamentalism within Protestant denominations in the early 20th century. We will explore the rise of modernism, an approach to religion influenced by science and critical thought, and the response of fundamentalists who defended traditional teachings and the inerrancy of Scripture. Chapter 18. Evangelicalism and Fundamentalism, Religious Divergence and Conservatism. This chapter continues to explore the divergence within evangelicalism and the formation of fundamentalism. We will see how fundamentalism emerged as a conservative response to modernism, emphasizing the textuality of Scripture and the core teachings of Christianity. The chapter will also discuss the role of evangelicalism and fundamentalism in American culture and politics. Chapter 19. Religion and the Crises of the 20th Century, War, Depression, and Totalitarianism. This chapter examines the impact of major crises of the 20th century, such as World War I, the Great Depression, and World War II on religion in the United States. We will see how religion was used to justify war and peace, how religious organizations responded to economic crisis, and how totalitarianism challenged religious freedom around the world. Chapter 20. Religion and Mid-Century Social Change, the Civil Rights Movement, and Vatican II. The final chapter of this section focuses on major social changes of the mid-20th century and their impact on religion. We will explore the role of religion in the Civil Rights Movement, especially the leadership of Martin Luther King Jr. This chapter will also discuss the Second Vatican Council and the major changes in the Catholic Church that had a profound impact on Catholic-Protestant relations in America. Part 5. Pluralism and Restructuring. This section consists of 5 chapters, covering the period from the mid-20th century to the late 20th century, which saw increased religious pluralism and significant restructurings in the American religious landscape. Chapter 21. The Rise of Foreign Religions, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and New Religions. This chapter opens Part 5 by exploring the rise of foreign religions in the United States, particularly Buddhism, Hinduism, and Islam, due to new waves of immigration from Asia and other parts of the world. We will see how these religions have gradually established a foothold in America, contributing to the nation's growing religious diversity. The chapter will also discuss the emergence of other new religions, such as Scientology and Wicca. Chapter 22, New Evangelicalism and Political Conservatism, the Moral Majority and Political Engagement. This chapter focuses on the rise of New Evangelicalism in the late 20th century and the growing political engagement of conservative evangelicals. We will learn about organizations such as the Moral Majority and their role in promoting conservative values. This chapter will discuss the complex relationship between religion and politics in modern American society. Chapter 23, Feminism and Religion, Feminist Theology, and the Challenge to Tradition. This chapter explores the relationship between the feminist movement and religion. We will see the emergence of feminist theology, an attempt to reinterpret religious traditions from a feminist perspective, and the challenges this movement poses to traditional power structures and doctrines in various religions. Chapter 24, Religious Pluralism and American Culture, Dialogue, Conflict, and Coexistence. This chapter discusses the challenges and opportunities of religious pluralism in American culture. We will see efforts at dialogue and cooperation among different religions, but at the same time, conflicts and tensions are not absent. This chapter will explore issues such as religious freedom, religious discrimination, and the role of religion in building a multicultural and peaceful society. Chapter 25, Religion and Popular Culture, Media, Entertainment, and the Popularization of Religion. The final chapter of this section examines the relationship between religion and popular culture. We will see how religion is expressed and disseminated through media, entertainment, music, and other forms of popular culture. This chapter will discuss the impact of popular culture on religion and vice versa. Part the Sixth American Religion in the 21st Century. This final part, consisting of 4 chapters, looks to the future and explores new trends and challenges for American religion in the 21st century. Chapter 26, Globalization and American Religion, Imperialism, Immigration, and Transnational Networks. This chapter opens Part the Sixth by examining the impact of globalization on American religion. We will see how American religion has spread globally through imperialism and missionary activity, and how immigration and transnational networks have brought new religious diversity to the United States. This chapter will discuss the role of American religion in a globalized world. Chapter 27, Science and Religion in the 21st Century, Biotechnology, the Environment, and the Debate over Meaning. This chapter explores the relationship between science and religion in the 21st century, especially in areas such as biotechnology and the environment. We will see how new scientific advances pose profound ethical and philosophical questions for religion, and how religion responds to these challenges. This chapter will discuss the ongoing debate about the meaning and purpose of life in an increasingly scientific world. Chapter 28, Politics and Religion in the 21st Century, Polarization, Secularism, and the Future of Religious Freedom. This chapter focuses on the relationship between politics and religion in contemporary American society. We will see growing political polarization over religious issues, the rise of secularism, and concerns about the future of religious freedom in a pluralistic and deeply divided society. Chapter 29, American Religion, Looking Back and Looking Forward. The final chapter of the book is a summary and review of the overall history of religion in the United States. We will review major themes and trends and reflect on the future of American religion in the 21st century. This chapter will emphasize the dynamism, diversity, and complexity of American religion, and the importance of understanding religious history to guide the future. Throughout this video, we will not only summarize the content of each section and chapter, but also delve into the analysis of important aspects, key developments, and key figures in the history of religion in the United States. We will explore religious diversity and fragmentation. The United States is not a monolithic nation in terms of religion, but has been a religiously pluralistic nation since its founding. We will see the emergence and development of countless different denominations, movements, and religions, from Puritanism, Anglicanism, Catholicism, Baptists, Methodists, Quakers, to Mormons, Seventh-day Adventists, Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, and many others. We will analyze the causes of this diversity and how religious diversity has shaped American culture and society. The relationship between religion and society. Religion is not just a personal issue, but has a profound impact on every aspect of social life, from politics, economics, culture to education, healthcare, and other social issues. We will explore the complex interplay between religion and American society, how religion reflects and shapes social values, and how social issues impact religion. Religion and social reform movements. Religion has played an important role in many major social reform movements in American history, from the abolitionist movement, the civil rights movement, the feminist movement, to the environmental movement, and other movements for social justice. We will analyze the religious motivations of these movements and how religious values have motivated and guided social reform efforts. Religious challenges and change. The history of American religion is not a static story, but one of constant change and adaptation to new challenges. We will explore the major challenges that American religion has faced, from the debate between modernism and fundamentalism, to the crises of the 20th century, to mid-century social changes. We will also consider new trends and challenges facing American religion in the 21st century, such as globalization, science and technology, and political polarization. So together we have explored the overall structure and main content of the book, A Religious History of America. This is truly an extremely valuable work, providing us with a comprehensive and in-depth look at the history of American religion, from the colonial foundations to today's modern society. The book not only helps us better understand the past, but also helps us reflect on the present and future of religion in an increasingly complex and diverse world. If you find this video useful and interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the American Religious Discovery channel so you don't miss other interesting videos about American religion and culture. Please leave a comment below the video to share your opinions, questions, or suggestions. We always look forward to receiving your interactions and contributions so that the channel can develop and bring better quality content. Sincerely, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. See you in the next videos on the channel Discovering American Religion.